associations, and I'm here in beautiful Kildare this morning. I've just come in from the garden, and so you're all very welcome. And if you are in isolation, if you have been cocooning, you're particularly welcome. If you are a frontline worker, you're also particularly welcome. And I'm recognizing that it's a beautiful day, and it could also be quite a challenging day for some people. In fact, no doubt it is a challenging day for some people. So you're all very welcome. I'm going to ring the bell and we'll start our practice, and let's see where it takes us. Just reminding Helen, if you'd like to start the recording, Helen.
Yes, I've done that, Dominic.
Okay, grand. I didn't know that. Okay, grand. So here we go. Just allowing the sound waves of the bell to invite you into a deeper presence. And as many of you will know already, you have, for this half hour, an opportunity to make wise choices about what best supports you. So as some of you have already done, turning off your camera if you feel that that is less intense for you. And you may sit, or you may stand, or you may lie down. And you have the choice to have eyes open or eyes closed. It's often helpful for many people to close the eyes or to half close the eyes, but you have that choice. It's important that whatever we're doing in the practice is something that feels right for you at this time and feels comfortable. And there's absolutely no compulsion. You can always get up and move around or leave the Zoom session if that feels like something you need to do. And really what we're doing in a practice like this is it's a repeated training in coming home to ourselves. Coming home to aspects of ourselves that perhaps we often, through busyness, don't even notice. So we could, if we like, even just forget about the word meditation, because that can set us up for all kinds of projects or goals about what should be happening or what should be achieved. And in some meditation traditions, there is this wise notion of simply sitting, just sitting practice, without any agenda beyond that. Even when we say, I'm going to meditate, it's like we set ourselves up for another form of doing. So, holding a posture that supports this sitting or lying or conscious standing opens up new possibilities of just being. And of course, most of us have rather busy minds. And so we often need certain kinds of scaffolding to maintain this particular kind of attention involved in just being. So, as many of you will be familiar, we find ways of supporting the mind to come into that still place. One of the most useful ways of doing that is to become really interested in the body. So, consciously taking stock of how we are sitting or standing or lying. And being present to all those points of contact between feet and floor, body and chair if you're sitting on a chair, body and bed if you're lying down. Just quietly inquiring whether the posture is supporting a sense of ease, a sense of openness to experience, a sense of balance. And then gently turning up the volume on the awareness of the breath in the body. And for some people, of course, the breath is not always a comfortable thing to pay attention to. So if that's true for you, then just staying with sensations in the body. But otherwise, having a sense of the breath as moving the different muscles in the chest and shoulder area, and also the diaphragm as it pushes down into the belly. But without any sense of needing to manipulate the breath. This kind of open, gentle awareness towards the breath usually has the effect of lengthening the breath so that its soothing aspect becomes more present to us. And of course, if that is not your experience, then that's absolutely fine. Simply trusting that whatever is happening for you right now is right for you. And if you haven't already done so, you may wish to close the eyes. And considering for a moment what it's like when eyes are closed or unfocused. Perhaps there's an opportunity to be with that inner stillness. That is always there, even if the mind is chattering away. So spending a little time now, just letting things be. Fully inhabiting this body. And when you notice that the mind has wandered, which it inevitably will, seeing that moment of noticing as a moment of mindfulness. So that every distraction becomes an opportunity to call ourselves back. And that's the training. And all of this being has a particular atmosphere or quality or attitude. So it's infused with the intention to be kind to ourselves, to not push, to not pull, to not strain. And of course, it's possible that when there's an invitation to practice kindness, that we can very often be resistant. Maybe there's some old hurt that surfaces when we hear the word kindness mentioned. From scars from a time when perhaps someone who should have been kind was less than kind. And we may have learned to protect ourselves by being hard on ourselves, being self-critical, always wanting to achieve. So, what would it be like to let go of any project we might have for self improvement? And opening to the possibility that this moment is perfect as it is. And that each one of us, the deeper we go, despite all our inconsistencies and fears, are perfect as we are. One description of mindfulness is non judgmental awareness. That's a pretty tall order. But it's an invitation. Even one fleeting moment of non judgmental awareness can heal. Can perhaps take us out of these self imposed chains of not being content, feeling dissatisfied with life, with ourselves, with how things are. And of course, at one level, You could say that life can be unsatisfactory. Coming into stillness, however, is an allowing of things just as they are. Just as we find ourselves. Letting go of any struggle against the reality of our current situation. I'd like to read a poem that addresses some of those themes. And just to kind of give a culture gloss, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the idea of a fortune cookie, these things that we can eat but have little pieces of paper inside them which predict our fortune. So this is a poem by Richard Schiffman called Smart Cookie. The fortune that you seek is in another cookie. It was my fortune. So I'll be equally frank. The wisdom that you covet is in another poem. The life that you desire is in a different universe. The cookie you are craving is in another jar. The jar is buried somewhere in Tennessee. Don't even think of searching for it. If you found that jar, everything would go kerflooey for 1,000 miles round. It is the jar of your fate in an alternate reality. Don't even think of living that life. Don't even think of eating that cookie. Be a smart cookie. Eat what's on your plate, not in some jar in Tennessee. That's my wisdom for today, though I know it's not what you were looking for. So taking a moment to, if you'll pardon the pun, to chew on that few crumbs of wisdom. And as we come to the end of the meditation, just reminding you that in all the important, essential ways, each one of us is perfect as we are.